Hello, fellow artists. This is Linda Riddle, and it's a good time for art. When we think about face masks today, this is what we usually have in mind. But for centuries, masks have been used in celebrations and rituals all over the world. In the early 20th century, a few European artists revolutionized the Western art world when they borrowed ideas from traditional African masks and used them in their own work. When we look at the lines, shapes, and patterns in masks from Africa, we can see why modern artists were so drawn to them. Ritual and ceremonial masks are an important part of the traditional culture of the peoples of Sub-Saharan and West Africa. The masks vary greatly among different cultures, but most have certain traits in common. Usually, they have a spiritual and religious meaning. They are used at ritual dances and social and religious events. A special status is given to those who create the masks and to those who wear them. African masks are usually shaped after the face of a human or animal, often in a highly abstract form. These masks from Burkina Faso are especially abstract because they represent flying spirits of the forest, which are thought to be invisible. In some communities, moral values are portrayed by characteristics of a mask. The half-closed eyes in this mask from Côte d'Ivoire represent self-control and patience. This mask from Sierra Leone has small eyes and a small mouth, which reflect the virtue of humility. A wide, protruding forehead indicates wisdom. Here are some examples of how Western artists used African masks as inspiration. They paid no attention to the cultural and symbolic significance of the masks. They were only interested in integrating the visual characteristics of African art into their own artwork. This resulted in a feeling of flatness in their paintings and sometimes in fragmented cubist shapes. When we study these tribal masks, we can see how the visual vocabulary of modern art actually originated in Africa. I'm going to make a simple mask using cardboard, marker, and paint. I'll use white chalk for my initial drawing. This is Vernon, my model. I plan to look closely at Vernon's face and reduce it to simple geometric shapes. These owl and antelope masks will be my inspiration. While I work, I'll play some traditional vocal music from South Africa. I'll add a link to this piece and some other recordings of African music.
Uma sishalapha sijina amathambo enqo sibona abantu bekhuluma vuma wethu uyavuma omunye uyaphika omunye unike nekhanda sekwanele zinsizwa sekwanele madoda niqondene nomaqondana nizawudyela inkawu inyani simpela nizawudyela inkawu ngiqinisile impela nizawudyela inkawu inyani simpela nizawudyela inkawu ngiqinisile impela nizawudyela inkawu ngoba yekeni laba bantu sebezoyidela Tilinga, bayegeni, Tilinga, Tilinga, Tilinga,
When your paint is dry, you can cut out your mask if you have strong hands and sharp scissors. Even so, I just cut it out a little bit at a time because it's pretty difficult to cut. If that's too hard for you, you could ask an adult to help you cut it out with an X-Acto knife. Like this. Also, just bit by bit is the easiest way to go. If you want to, when your mask is all cut out, you can actually tape a stick to the back of it so that you can carry it, like I did with this version of Vernon. You can learn a lot about shape, line, and pattern simply by drawing your own version of an African mask. This wonderful drawing by a first grader shows how the student carefully observed the details of African masks. A fifth grader made intricate line patterns on his drawing of a dramatic mask with a cobra headpiece. You can also incorporate color into your mask. Here's one my son made years ago in his elementary school art class with paper, crayon, and markers. Thank you so much for joining me today. You can share your artwork with all of us at #GoodTimeForArt. If you enjoyed this video, you can let me know by hitting the little thumbs up button underneath the screen. And while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's all for today, but remember, it's always a good time for art.